Hey kiddos, Joe Grandpa Coyote coming to you once again, you know from where, here on planet Earth. Someplace nice and natural, you know. I'm just hanging out here this afternoon, still sipping on my morning coffee, and coming to chat with you now about some of the stuff that's going on right now inside of our universe, inside of our hearts, which is our universe. Heart being the conscious part of ourselves. Not the thing you've necessarily thought of as heart before, which led you in romantic directions and give you lots of dreams to fulfill, most of which went south or sour on you at one point or another, and still do. You know, it seems like we humans can only reach so far. But we're building a bridge, some of us, to the new world that we're already in. And this bridge isn't just for crossing. It's for bringing together. I guess if you put it in Star Trek terms, it's kind of like a tractor beam. And we're pulling that world into this one, ourselves into that one. It's like two planets that we're orbiting now join and become one. That's why our perceptions are changing. That's why this world don't seem so round anymore. That's why we're finding that despite all of our heartache and pain or whatever we've created for ourselves here, we're beings of love and light. No matter who we are or what station in this life we hold. You know, we've made some great sacrifices to be here in the forms that we are. We've given up most everything that we are in spirit terms to come here and live in a greatly reduced status of consciousness, to the point where, yeah, at times in our history we could have been called Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal and things like that. We've been pretty low. Yet some of the darkest times in history are those of the past 200 years. And some of the darkest moments in people's lives are in recent times. What is this, October 25 or something like that of 2013? I don't think it's quite that late in the year. Let me look down here on my computer, because sometimes I forget what year it is, let alone what day. Okay, it's the 14th of October, the day after the 13th. We don't have to wait any longer for anything, or not much longer, because it's all happening now. So I'm just here asking you to remember to keep it together as the changes come, as they amplify. We're at a crossroads as humanity, as human persons, as the Mother Earth, which means we're standing at the center of things, where the six directions join. That's all of them. And as we stand as a singular being, the entirety of humanity and Mother Earth joined with the Sun and Venus and Mars and Jupiter and all the rest of them. Because in reality, all planets are one, just like all people are one. I know that's a bit trippy to be talking that way, yet you feel the ring of it in your heart. You know it's true. So this crossroads isn't necessarily one like what you've gone to before, where you had to make deals with the devil and give up your soul and head off in this direction or that direction. You were like in this place of a sense of choosing. It was kind of false sense, because you were only going to go one direction no matter what. But this is a crossroads we stay in. This is our natural place of being. It's the center of our heart consciousness inside of ourselves. And it's the center of it in our presence of being as humanity, as Mother Earth, as this system called soul. We're all together in one sun, one earth, one heart, one love, one people. And you may think there's a billion different beings scattered across the universe, and in a relative sense that's true, but the universe we're seeing ain't necessarily the one we consider to be real. The real one's far more expansive, and that's where we really are. And when I say real, what I mean is that which seems beyond our perceptions right now, the multidimensional look, the view, again, of the heart. And we, as individual beings, as persons, are beginning to regain that perspective. And we're starting to union in this way, to come together as human beings and not just as cowboys and Indians or whatever other sort of definition you may define yourself by, Irish and Scotch. You know, we have our divisions, we have our cultures, our nations, our tribes, that we've all found an identity in to give us a sense of purpose and direction, a sense of connection with the earth. We've got a family there. We're unioned with people as Scotch and Irish and English and German and Swiss and Chinese and Japanese and Samoans, you know, just go across the earth. Aussies, Newsies, I mean, we're all in some kind of Coloradans. We're all in some kind of, you know, identity. But right now it's identity crisis. Because those identities don't work for us. They don't really define our true family, our true heart. They've been a substitute, a superficial means to get us motivated to get by in a tribal sense. And when I talk about the last 200 years being some of the darkest, even though on the surface you would think it was the lightest because we've gained a lot technologically and we're spreading it across the earth now like a scourge. But when you think about where people have been and what we've done and what's been going on behind the scenes and what's being revealed right now to you in the visible world, no matter how much they try to hide it, there's been a lot of dark shit going on here. And there's some beings who've been planning their moves for thousands of years here in this paradigm to take over, to rule with an iron fist, much in the way they did in Germany and Russia during their darker times. And see, look how many millions of people were affected by that. Not just the dead, but the living that survived it with all the trauma that goes with it. The incredible inhumanity of one human to another, the incredible cruelty, the heartlessness, the coldness, and the fear that goes with it, you see. That's the most important thing. These beings that are intelligences that have been feeding on us for centuries now, they feed on that fear, the energy of that fear. They like to amplify it. And the more they can make you afraid of things, they being some people that are different than we are, but yet are still our brothers and sisters. So when I say they, I speak of an aspect of us. The same as inside of us. Here, there seems to be a division of sorts. On one side, you got the bad guy, and on the other side, you got the good guy. Or vice versa, however it goes for you. But we seem even divided in our intentions in ourselves. So what we're doing now, as we stand at this crossroads and magnetically draw the new earth into us, because that's what we're doing, we see beyond the old limitations. The veils between the worlds become thinner. What was hidden from you before becomes visible. And a lot of darkness, a lot of the crap I've talked about going on in the last 200 years, you're going to have to face it one way or another. There's been some cruelty here. Some of the most worst, heinous things you could imagine. There's been people completely ruthless and heartless, more so than throughout all the generations, just because of the number of people, the whole earth, being affected by it. And it'll be a big jolt to your consciousness to realize that this shit's been going on in the background forever. Even though you knew it, it's still a jolt to realize it's kind of like losing your innocence in a way, yet at the same time, when you see it, when you see the darkness, see the light that's within that. See what was in you that desired to bring that out visibly, so that for once and forever it could be dispensed with, and these heartless, cruel practices will be over with. Why else would they be revealing themselves to you now? So what I'm saying is essentially don't be afraid of the dark, because that's what first comes revealed. Because that's the most visible thing here in the invisible world. It's just how the system works here, the matrix. But it's really the matrix of the heart, and there really is not this cruelty. But we're releasing all that, letting it go. A little by little, a leap by a leap. And we're real close to a transitional phase that I've long since seen coming. But it's just another step. But it'll redirect every area of your life, every interest that you have, every activity that you perform. I'm not saying you're going to have to wait weeks for this, maybe days. Maybe it's here already. It's not too far away. The divided nature of this world, that which has kept us so far apart, we acknowledge it. We accept the presence of this superficial darkness as a part of our ever-present past. And we purify it. In seeing it, we find something to love there. Something to bring it out of its dismal goddamn misery and help it live life. And you know what that something is? The darkness is you. You are the darkness too. And you have complete authority from within your heart to render it harmless, to help it become as it truthfully are. Another living part of yourself, an aspect of your being that for whatever the reason has felt very unloving. But only through love can it find love. Only by being love. This doesn't mean resisting. It means letting go. Not letting it have the hold on you that it has had. Realizing the abject nature of it. Seeing where it leads, seeing where it's led others. Acknowledge your ancestry, the horribleness they've been through. And you're free. You're liberated. Because you know the conscious presence of the heart that could not only endure that stuff, but bring this day of liberation. I call it graduation day. And that's not too far away. And that, in case none of you are any of your dropouts like myself, that's when you line up in your fancy skirts and get your diplomas, man, and call it a good thing. And just like graduation, the after party. There's no nonsense there, but every nonsense you ever dreamed of being is there. Ain't gonna be the party to end all party, because it's going on already inside yourself. And we're just starting to create it out here in the outer world. So some of these changes are going to take a little more time, but we are making some very significant steps, babies, in these coming days, you know. So hang on to your jilly joggle and only let it wiggle when you have to, you know what I mean? In other words, find that peaceful place. Communicate through your third eye and your open hands. Be in that flow. Be in that heart presence that can show you the higher aspects being served in every dark moment. Not only of your own personal life, that's where it begins, but then it expands into the world around you. And you can let go of a lot. You can forgive everything. You'll have the capacity to do it. And not only the capacity, the will to do it. Right now, you're still pissed at something in this life, and probably many somethings. You still feel injustice within and all about yourself. That's why you move off to the blissful places, so you don't have to deal with the injustice. It's a wise thing to do at times, you know. Persons shouldn't have to subject themselves to that kind of crap day in and day out. You shouldn't live in these filthy cities that are so horrible to you, and that you have to be so horrible to get by in. Why would you do that? Why would you torture yourself that way and punish others with your own bitterness? Isn't it about time you took a walk, maybe down to the beach or up to the mountain, got yourself collected? Isn't it time you started to notice how much you truthfully do care, and how hard you have worked in this darker way to cover that up? Isn't it time to realize all that now, so we can finally let it go as singular beings and as the entirety of this humanity on this planet, in this earth, under this Father's sky, with the Father and Mother's sun shining down on us? Isn't it time we let that presence shine from inside of us? I know you know what I mean. Jelly bean. Sweet little jelly bean that you are. The finest fruit the earth, the sky, the universe has ever produced. Quite an incredible experience, guys. It's been awesome. I love every minute of it. I hope you do too. So here we go, riding on out into the countryside. Gonna have ourselves a little party now, you know. I'm gonna go there and make some reservations for a few of you, but most of you are just gonna have to show up and crash the party, because it's time. Bring your diploma. We'll burn them together. In that moment, equity has arrived. The perspective of all humanity changes. It shifts tremendously. And even though we may be right where we are, how we're living it is completely different. Babies, it's the ride of every lifetime you've ever lived. And now's the time we fulfill it. And if you want to know why I'm blowing you kisses, because you're all frickin' saints, one way or another. Even that God-blessed fly that keeps buzzing my face every time I do a video. Oh man, guys. We did it. We pulled through. We pulled it off. Took a hell of a lot longer than we thought it would, and a lot more agony. But son of a bitch, look at where we're at. Is this not the most rockin' place to be? This is where it's happening now, babies. I mean, you're going to see all kinds of evidence in the physical world. You know? I mean, you already do, but right now it's kind of ethereal. You know, it's just something everybody's feeling and responding to. But in the visible truth, the visible reality, comes that truth. A piece at a time. But in rapid vacuity, in other words, out of the vacuum comes the response we've been waiting for. Out of the most dangerous place comes the safest place, the most blessed. The giving up of fear. Can you imagine every person on this earth living without fear, including the animals and the trees and the birds and so forth? Well, it's happening. And it's happening right in there inside of you and me too. The gateway, the key, is to appreciate where you've been, and not only where you've been, your ancestors, and all of the rest of humanity that's alive with you right now. For some, it's a difficult place to be in, because we're so used to dealing with ourselves divided. We have our petty little quarrels and so forth, our misunderstandings. Some of us live at one level, some of us at another, and then communication's almost impossible. Yet, that's all about to die away now. The suffering finds an end in itself, if you can allow it to be, if you can allow yourself to let go of it. And if not, it'll take you out one way or the other and right back to the reality. So it's truth. And it's there. And it's inescapable. Be it. Live it. Don't be afraid. And when you are afraid, find that reassurance in yourself. Go in your spirit heart. Ask for the assistance you need to empower yourself to find what you need to bring peace to your life and all the many others that you care about, and all the many others beyond that that you care about in another way, a deeper way, a way that we call interconnectedness, a way that makes us the same being, a way that purifies the heart. May the God and Goddess inside of you, the Great Spirit, bless you. You deserve the reward you're about to receive. Catch you next time, kiddos. Papa loves you.